Today we're making Salisbury steak. So let's get started. For our Salisbury steak, we're going to need roughly 2 pounds of lean ground beef, some breadcrumbs, some ketchup, some dried mustard, some Worcestershire sauce, some beef bouillon cubes, salt and pepper, some butter, some olive oil. We're going to need a whole onion, a container of mushrooms, and also some cornstarch. So let's get started. So one of the first things we need to do is slice up our onions. So we're going to cut this in half. Come on, there we go. And then we're going to cut this into some thin slices. You can also chop these up, chop your onions up if you like, but I prefer the little slices. Alright, we're going to set those to the side. Then the next thing we need to do is take our beef bouillon cube and we're going to crush this up, because this is going to get mixed in with our ground meat. And of course, paper is being difficult. There we go. And so I'm going to use a mortar and pestle to break mine up. And you may have to dig a little bit. And there we go. So now that we got this ready, so let's move on to getting our ground meat ready. So be right back. So we are going to take our ground meat and we're going to break this up and put this in a bowl. And as always, we need to make sure to wash our hands whenever we're done. So take that. All right, to this we are going to add half a cup of breadcrumbs, 2 teaspoons of dried mustard, our crumbled up beef bouillon cube, 2 teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce, and a tablespoon of ketchup. Alright, I'm making a mess. Set this to the side and we're going to give this a good mix. Make sure everything is evenly blended. Oops, about ready to knock stuff over. Alright, so now, let me grab a plate. And we're going to break these up into patties. And you're probably going to end up with about 6 to 8 patties. And we're going to make sure and press them together really, really good. And the last one. All right, so we're going to get over to the stove and get prepped up so we can start cooking this up. So I'll be back in just a minute. All right, so we've got us a heavy pot over medium-high heat, and to this we're going to add in about 1 to 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and then a tablespoon of butter. Gonna get this all mixed up. And once this butter's melted, then we're gonna start cooking our patties. So we are almost there. All right. And it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to fit that other one in here, but we're going to cook these up for about 3 to 4 minutes per side, and then we'll be back shortly. So let's get these cooked up, and I'll see you in a bit. Alright, so we're going to pull our last hamburger steak out of the pot, and what I like to do is I like to add just a little bit of beef broth to the bottom to pull up the good stuff and give that a quick stir. Alright, so to this we are going to now add in our sliced onions. And we're going to let these cook down for about 3 to 5 minutes, and then we're going to put our mushrooms in there. So we'll be right back. Alright, so now we're going to add in our mushrooms, and if you find that you have some mushrooms that are rather large, you can break them up. There we go. Alright, so we're going to cook these down for another few minutes, and then we'll keep building on these flavors and getting our gravy going. So, be back in a little bit. Alright, so this has been going for a good couple of minutes. So now we're going to add in 1 whole container of beef stock. Alright, and we're going to hold on to just a little bit because we're going to need to mix that in with our cornstarch to thicken everything up. So we are going to add in our Worcestershire sauce, our ketchup, and our kitchen bouquet to brown this up a little bit more. A little bit. That out of there. There we go. Get it all out. Alright, then we are going to take our cornstarch and mix in a little bit of our leftover beef broth, and then we're going to pour that in there. And we're going to give this a good stir, and we're going to let this cook for about, I'd say 5 to 10 minutes, and then see how thick it is. We may need to thinning it out a little bit, but we'll see here in about 10 minutes. So be right back. So this has been going about 15 minutes, and now what we need to do is give it a quick taste test and see if we need anything. Alright, we need a little bit of salt and pepper in this. Another quick stir. Let's see where we're at. Should be good to go. Perfect. So at this point, you could go ahead and add your patties. But what I like to do, and this is totally optional, I like to add in a package of brown gravy mix. And like I said, this part is completely optional. You don't have to do this part. So we're going to add that in. Now we are going to add back in our patties. And we are going to cover this and let this simmer for about 20 minutes. So we're going to let this go, and we'll be back in a little bit. Alright, so this has been going for a good 20 minutes. Alright, give this a quick stir. Everything looks good. Alright, so let me get this pulled off, and we're going to start setting up so we can have something good to eat. So we'll be back in a few minutes. Alright, so we're set up and ready to have something to eat. So let's go ahead and plate this up. So we're going to serve this up with some mashed potatoes. Alright, we're going to get us out a nice patty. Get us some of the gravy. Try not to make a mess. And there we go. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember, like, share, and subscribe. New videos are posted every Tuesday. And until next time, enjoy.